Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to my movie review of Robocop 2014 version with minor spoilers. I saw it tonight. Here's my ticket. There we go. I think you can see that, right? Yeah, there you go, Robocop. And thank you for your cooperation. Uh, okay, I saw this version, of course, the original version. I absolutely love the one Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, Ronnie Cox, I think uh, Jose Ferrer Jr. I think is in that one, and just a bunch of other, Ray Wise, of course, Peter Weller is RoboCop. Okay, in this version, um, things are they change things around slightly, a little bit, and of course, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen basically the basic story in this one. Like I said, Samuel Jackson plays a character named Pat Novak. He's like a conservative anchor on some net, I forgot what the network they called it, but anyway, he's basically, like you see in the trailer, ranting about why American might is overseas. Why can't we have it in America? But in this movie, there's a law against it because the senator says it's not. It doesn't. Machines are not humans. And they kind of you don't have that human reaction. So they're not going to have that on the streets in America. It's okay for overseas and everything else, but they're not going to have that on American soil. And they even have a law. I think they passed that they have a law that says you can't have those robots on American soil. Okay, and of course this doesn't sit well with the CEO of Omnicorp, played by Michael Keaton, who plays Raymond Sellers, the CEO, of course, and he wants they even show us him testifying for Congress, trying to get senators to change their mind, of course, but they're not budging. Okay, and of course, so he's trying to strategize and think of a way to do this, and then he comes up with the concept of putting a man inside the machine. Okay, and they're searching for candidates. In the meantime, Alex Murphy in this story is played by Joe Kinnaman. He's a good cop. Trying, him and his partner Jack Lewis, played by Michael K. Williams. They're trying to bust this drug dealer, and I think the guy's like an arms dealer and a drugs dealer, and they're trying to bust him, but they think there's bunch of dirty cops on the streets. They're stealing evidence from the locker room, from the lockup, and he's trying to fight against this, but like I said, you have the dirty cops, and unlike the first movie, in this movie they kind of change it around, like you see in the trailer. He gets blown away, literally in a car bomb. Okay, and of course he's reduced to nothing, and they come to his wife and basically tell her that, listen, he's not going to be much more than a vegetable unless we help him, but you have to consent since you're his wife. Okay, and they persuaded her, to sign over the papers, to sign over so they can do that. And this is, of course, what Raymond Sellers, Michael Keaton's character, wants. He wants to put a man in the machine, of course. And of course, when Alex Murphy wakes up, of course, he's stunned about what he is, and he kind of reacts kind of violently and kind of runs away. But they shut him down, and then they decide, that you know, Doctor Dermot Dennett Norton, played by Gary Oldman, basically explains to him, what happened to him, and there's even a great scene where Alex Murphy asks to see what he looks like, and he basically, and Doctor Norton basically breaks him down and let him see what he looks like, and that's a powerful scene. Probably one of the most powerful scenes in the movie, where he basically shows him what's left of him, basically, and of course, you can tell he's devastated by what happened to him. Okay, and but of course, Raymond Sellers, Michael Keaton's character, he wants to change this law, so he's going to use Alex Murphy as the new RoboCop to test that law, and they do a bunch of tests with him, and of course he's still reacting because he still has a human brain, acting as a human. He doesn't react basically like a robot would act, and basically Raymond Sellers' character keeps pushing Dr. Norton to make RoboCop act the way we want him to act, more robot-like. He basically kind of orders him, and basically what I liked about this version of RoboCop, is they concentrate more in this movie on the Alex Murphy character more than the RoboCop, because I remember, if I remember this right, the original RoboCop movie, I think there was only like a scene where he does start to remember, and there's a scene I think where he goes to his house and he has a faint memories of with his wife and stuff, and with his kid. But in this movie, they really play up. You actually get him. Well, I don't want to spoil this, but they actually show more scenes of him, and I think they concentrate more on Alex Murphy, his reaction, to being this new RoboCop, and it's a really good movie. And I like also about this cast. This is a great supporting cast in this movie. You have Gary Oldman as Dr. Dennett Norton, who's the guy who basically put him in the suit, put Alex Murphy's character in the suit, and he's he wants to do this research and stuff, but he's constantly getting pushed, by Dr. Raymond Sellers, played by Michael Keaton, who's also was really good. And this part is the CEO of Omnicorp, who basically wants to get that law repealed and get these robots on the streets of America, and so you can make more billions and billions of dollars. And then you have Samuel Jackson, who's great. Like I said, his character Pat Novak is more like sort of like a Bill O'Reilly type, like a conservative guy who's basically trying to. You see, he's kind of working with Raymond Sellers' character to kind of get that law changed. You can just tell, and I like the way they show him doing interviews and stuff, and you can tell that he's pro-robot in America. And like I said, I like the supporting cast in this movie, and like I said, this movie they focus more on Alex Murphy, and I think Joe Killerman did a good job, especially the scenes when he realizes what he is, and he has to talk to his wife for the first time, and then he has to go home. He goes home eventually to see his wife and kid, and I thought he did a really good job. Well, like I said, but the supporting cast in this movie is good, and I like the way they change things around enough in this movie. You still get basically the same story, but they kind of change little things around from the original movie, okay? But it's still enjoyable, and I really like this movie a lot better than I thought I would. Initially, I was kind of skeptical watching it. I wanted to see this movie, but then when I was watching it in the beginning of the movie, I was kind of skeptical. But as it went on, and more and more, I really got to enjoy it. And I definitely, like I said, great supporting cast: Gary Oldman, Michael Keaton, Abby Cornish, Jackie Earle Haley, Michael K. Williams, Jennifer Ayle, Jay Baruchel, Samuel Jackson. Just a great supporting cast. And like I said, they changed the story around a little. They changed. They played. It's the basic. Story: corrupt cops, corrupt corporation. But they just changed things around slightly, and they focus more to me in this movie on Alex Murphy, the person, more so RoboCop. Okay, but you still get enough of RoboCop kicking ass in this movie that I really enjoyed this movie. So I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. I really like this remake. Like I said, they made it different enough that it's different from of course the original, but it was still enjoyable. And like I said, the original RoboCop I would give a 9 out of 10 because that movie is just fantastic with the fake I'll buy that for $1 and all that stuff. And in this movie they kind of incorporate some of those lines from that version, Paul Verhoeven's version. In that movie, I would give it a 9 out of 10. But this movie, like I said, I'll give it an 8. I think it's slightly below that version, but still enjoyable and its own little beast. And I liked it. And I definitely would highly recommend you go see this movie. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, so if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.